Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I hope we're all doing well. So in today's video we're going to be reflecting on my 10 greatest lessons of 2022. So as it's the end of the year, I thought it would be the great time to do this, kind of teach you what I've learned from my 22. Maybe at the end in the comments you could leave me what you've learned, your greatest lessons. That would be really helpful too, what you've learned, what's really helped you throughout the year. So I'm going to kick off with number one, and that's becoming intentional with everything I do. Whether that becomes with like who I spend time with, like what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about, like the thoughts I'm putting into my head, my diet, gym, who I'm spending time with, etc., etc. Like, what is the ROI of all my investments that I'm putting in? Is there even an ROI? Because I think for a lot of the time, especially at the start of the year, there was no ROI at all. I was just doing things because maybe a bit of pleasure, like everyone else was doing it. I wasn't being intentional at all, and this is something that you've got to be intentional, especially towards your goals. And something I've learned, something I'm really trying to drill into myself. Everything I do needs to be intentional. So that's my first lesson, something very important. I hope you can take a bit of a lesson of that, and hopefully it helps you to become more intentional, because it's one of the most important things if you want to be successful. So my second one, I have so much work to do to become the person that I want to become. So I think at the start of the year and for a few months, I got a bit complacent. I've been looking around, maybe just looking in a small circle, maybe my friendship group, and I'm thinking, I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing better than all these other guys. Like, no one else is really doing anything with their life. They're just like working a normal job. They've not really got that much ambition. They're not successful in any way. They don't really seem to be on a good trajectory. No disrespect to all of these people, but I'm just looking around and thinking, yeah, I'm doing pretty well for myself. But then I take a step back. I'm looking at more of my inspirations, and they're doing a lot better than me. You see people all across the world. They're doing very, very well, very successful, especially in the areas that I aspire to be like. I'd take a look at people like Hamza, E-Man. These are the type of people I want to become. And they're obviously a similar age to me too. So I need to put a lot more work in, I'd say, and stop being as complacent. That's a big lesson that I've learned throughout the year. So number three, very similar to number one, is who you spend time with. Is one of the most important decisions that you'll make when it comes to friends, family, trying to connect with some higher value people. Our time and attention is a form of currency, which most people aren't really aware of, or if they are, they just don't really consider it too much, because it's obvious in their actions speak louder than anything else. They're just spending time mindlessly, just scrolling on their phone. They go into the pub all the time. They're just not doing anything productive. They're not doing anything that's going to better their lives. Yeah, it's cool. Like, do these, if you enjoy these stuff, do this stuff in moderation. But are you really enjoying these type of things? Like, come on now. Like, I think you really do need to spend time with those people who you really care about when it comes to family, friends, trying to find people more on your wavelength. Something I'm really trying to do recently, connect with some higher value people. I found it really difficult for my type of age and the type of area I live in. So a lot of this is going to have to come from online networking, etc., etc. So yeah, very similar to number one, but a big lesson that I've learned is valuing who I spend time with. Number four is finding my purpose and mission in my life. Probably the most important one, I'd say, because I do believe that everyone has a purpose and mission to be on this planet. Like, we weren't made just for no reason, just to sit around like aimlessly with no ambition, no goals. Like, we were put onto this planet for a reason. For me, I feel like that is to help as many people, young people, as possible along their journey, and with the lessons that I've learned throughout my lifetime, to help them better their lives, reach their full potential. Not just reach it, like realize this and really believe in themselves. This is one of my biggest missions, and like I'm not gonna stop till I finish this. I can't fail it if I never give up, and that's something I will never give up, because I've realized that for a lot of people, maybe they're struggling to find their purpose and mission in life. Well, I think you need to take a step back from life, because obviously everyone's just constantly just distracting themselves. So I've said in many videos, they just want to do stuff so they don't have to really think about what they really want to do with their life, why they're actually here. Just take a step back, and I think journaling helped me a lot. Meditation, it will come to you eventually. Just do stuff like journaling, meditation, stuff that's going to improve your self-awareness, and yeah, it's really important in your life. So I really encourage you to do those type of things if you're struggling to find your mission and purpose. So number 6 is embracing masculinity. Having been a very feminine man through a lot of my life, especially through my early years, mainly through my family, having a lot of female influences in my life, I never really had a father figure there, as many of you will know. So becoming a masculine man, I feel my masculine core is there, and I've not really been true to myself for a lot of my life. And this is probably what's made me unhappy, unfulfilled. But through people like Hamza, First Man, reading the book called The Way of the Superior Man, which I fully recommend if you want to learn more about masculine, feminine energy, sexual energy, and all of this spirituality. It all becomes a lot clearer when you read these type of things. It identifies your true desires as a man, something I've not been honouring. And I think if you have a strong masculine core, a strong masculine essence, which if you read this book, you'll find a lot more about. You really need to be embracing this, being true to myself. Something I'm trying to do. Obviously, I've got a long way to go. I still wouldn't say I'm a masculine man by any way, but I'm on my way to make sure that becomes a reality, because that's what I need to become absolutely true to my true core. So number 7 is being materialistic. Gets you nowhere these days. Like, it's just unfulfilling. It is really unfulfilling. I think for a lot of my life, especially my teenage years, I'll just buy brands just for the logo, like Ralph Lauren. What else would I buy? Kenzo, I think, maybe. Just a lot of brands that are just like, they have no benefit. Like, they're costing another £40-50. The material's not even nice. They don't even look that nice. They're just a t-shirt with a little box on it. Like, it was just ridiculous, the stuff I was doing just to get the approval of people that I just didn't care about. And probably they just, realistically, you learn that no one really cares about you as much as you care about yourself. Something I've learned a lot. So obviously, yeah, a lot of people do aspire to these things. That's why they like work so hard on a lot of things. A lot of people, you see them working till like God knows when, like 2-3 a.m. in the morning, with the dreams of like Lamborghinis, Bugattis, all of this stuff. But I don't think I've just learned it's not fulfilling at all. Like, all of this stuff is cool for pleasure, but you got to realize it's only going to be pleasure at the end of the day. It's not going to bring you happiness. It's not going to make you fulfilled. Something I've learned, I've been a lot less materialistic. I'm a lot more confident in myself and my appearance too. So when it comes to going out, I'm not too bothered about what I'm wearing. Obviously, I'm not saying don't go out looking like just a mess, because you don't want to do that. You never know who you're going to meet. Something important to bear in mind is always want to be looking nice and presentable, but you can do this without spending fortunes on clothes and just buying stuff just because it has a logo to get the approval, like I say, of people that you really shouldn't care about, and just don't care about you at all. So my number 9 is happiness. Is a lot more simple than people think. For me, my happiness is made up of gym, time in nature, friends, family, just being productive, especially as a man. Obviously, it might be a bit different if you're a girl watching this video. Working towards my mission and purpose is enough to make me happy. I do think if you were with me, shadowing me, if you're not in a great place right now mentally, I do think your happiness and mental health would improve significantly. Like, I'd be more than happy to do this with people. I'm going to start some coaching soon, so hopefully I can prove some results with you guys. But yeah, this is something I really do feel is a lot more simple than people think. Like mentioned previously, it's not materialistic things that are going to make you happy. You can try all these things, you can believe that they will, but I can assure you they won't. It is a lot more simple. Like, just being productive, I think one is the biggest things. Just gym, and obviously improves your physical health straight away, and then mentally you're in a lot better place afterwards. They correlate very well. If you see my fitness video, I speak about this in a lot more depth. So yeah, happiness is a lot more simple than people think. Obviously, if you're not in a great mental place right now, you might struggle with this, but if you just take a few actionable steps, take it step by step, start meditating, cut out drinking, go to bed at a reasonable time, go to the gym, do some physical activity, spend time with nature, be with family and friends, I can guarantee your mental health and your happiness overall will improve tenfold, maybe even more. So just try these things if you're struggling a lot. Something I learned a lot for someone who was in a bad mental place a couple of years ago. So my final one, you have to be selfish to be successful in life. I think the most selfish people the most successful people in life are very selfish. They've had to make extreme sacrifices to get to where they are today. Like becoming more selfish and putting yourself first, you're going to get the results a lot more quicker than a lot of these people who are like thinking too much about what other people think. You got to be selfish. Like, what do you really want to like? What do you really want to achieve in life? You've really got to go for these things. When it comes to a gym, like, I've got to be selfish. Like, I can't think of other things. I can't think of other people. Like, if I want to go to the gym on my own, I'll go. If there's people that I don't think on my same level, I'm not going to train with these people. Like, I've got to be selfish. When it comes to starting like business, I've got to like sacrifice time. Like, if people want to spend time with me, I've got to put myself first, put my greater mission and purpose of life ahead of these type of things. And especially as a man, you want to like achieve things. You want to be getting what you want. So to not be successful in life is like one of my worst thoughts. So yeah, I've learned to be a bit more selfish, obviously in a good way. And I think it's kind of the opposite. Once you get a lot older, people will really like realize and achieve that you're maybe not being, you're being the opposite of selfish in a bit of a weird way. Like, you did all of this for a greater reason. You did this to fulfill your mission. You did this to fulfill your purpose. You did this to support your family. You did this to support your bloodline. You did all of this for a reason. I'm sure people will realise that now. Realise that in the future, even if they don't realise it now. So there are my 10 greatest lessons of 2022. I hope they helped you. If you could share with me your greatest lessons, maybe if you don't have 10, just a few, that would be really good. I'd be really interested to know what people have learned, and maybe they'd help me too. So yeah, I'm gonna do a video on goal setting, the importance of that in my next one. If you've got any more videos, like I said in my previous video, any ideas you have, that would be great. So take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.